I'm here in Montreal this week to give a lecture to the Lord Reading Society, and it's really a delight to be here. And they've invited me, and it just was hard to find the right time to come. And I'm delighted to be here now on the 60th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, to be here in Montreal, and to be here with the daughter of John Humphrey, who drafted the first draft of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and she's being honored with an award. And for me, it's truly an honor to be here tonight and to talk about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights with someone who is so closely connected to it. It's a declaration that continues to ring for victims around the world who, despite the insistence by repressive regimes that human rights are not universal, victims around the world insist that they are, and the Universal Declaration continues to be a very relevant document today. And so it's just a pleasure to be here with the Lord Reading Society on this day to celebrate this document with the daughter of John Humphrey. If you hear the UN Human Rights Council, you assume that it's a body of sober, serious, independent experts who are concerned with applying objective human rights. And the reality, unfortunately, is very different, and I would say is even tragic. The reality is that many of these countries are seeking to provide cover for their allies who are committing egregious abuses around the world. And the reality is that the world is a very difficult place. It's a very dangerous place. And that's one of the challenges for human rights activists, is on the one hand to remain idealistic without falling into the trap of not seeing evil where it exists. And I think the most effective human rights activists are those who are able to see evil in the world where it exists, but to marshal the principles and the mechanisms of the human rights movement to combat it. The tools available to a non-governmental organization are limited. We're not a sovereign country. We don't have armies. We don't have financial resources. And so to a certain degree, one might think that our influence is limited. The reality is different, that NGOs do have the potential to exercise enormous influence, and especially at the Human Rights Council, where ultimately the Human Rights Council, for example, unlike the Security Council, which is about boots on the ground, it is about armies. The Human Rights Council, at the end of the day, if it is going to work, it's about shedding light, turning a spotlight on some of the world's worst abusers. And that's the best you can do, is to shame them. And by resolutions, that ultimately it's just words, but words that are used in such a way that will shame the worst abusers and hold them accountable. And that's something that NGOs can sometimes do within the halls of the debates. And we certainly seek to do that. As an NGO, we're entitled to speak. We're often interrupted and intimidated by member states that don't like to hear the truth. But nevertheless, we're quite dogged and don't give up, and we continue to be, as the New Republic called us, a truth-telling organization. And so we bring victims from Darfur to testify, and when Sudan says nothing is happening, you have a victim from Darfur saying, well, actually, it is happening, and here's how my family's homes were burned down, and so forth. The media is actually quite interested to hear the truth often if it's done in an effective way. And that's one thing that UN Watch is quite good at doing, is we've been able to tell the truth on international television networks, radio, print. So, in the past 2 weeks, we've been in Reuters, we've been in The Economist, we've been in Al Jazeera, we've been on Canadian television, we've been on Fox News. In a couple of days, we'll be on BBC and be in a film about reconciliation with Archbishop Tutu. So we've become an organization that is respected both for its objective analysis of the way things are, as well as being a voice for victims. And we're able to use the media to advance our message, and ultimately, again, to turn the spotlight on the world's worst abusers. And that's something we can do by being positioned where we are and using some of the tools that are available. So in that sense, we do feel that we're able to make a difference.